An octogenarian love match. Is that even possible? Or do we just give up in our 80s? The Golden Bachelor showed us that there are vibrant, attractive people in their 70s that are looking for love. And that was a good thing to show the public because it's true. 70s used to be really ancient, but today you can be living a full, complete life, minus some aches and pains, in your 70s and still looking for love. Hi, I'm Sandy from Sandy Over 70. Welcome to my channel. I hope you will subscribe if you haven't already and click that like button. So what about the 80s? Is it even possible? Well, I believe it is because I'm going to tell you some stories about people who have found love in their 80s, but it's not easy because, as you know, there are more single women in their 80s than there are men. So for women, the data, the statistics is against us. But it does happen. And for those who want it to happen, you have a much greater chance if you're looking for love. Let me tell you about a good friend of mine who had been widowed for a number of years. She was just about to try online dating when, after her service at church, she went to the fellowship hall and was sitting at a table having some coffee and pastries. She was approached by an elderly gentleman who asked if he could join her. Well, of course, they eventually went on dates and they did marry. He had checked her out before he sat down by asking his friends in the church about her. He found out that she was an opera singer, and he, being a violinist and lover of music, knew that that important connection would be there. So how is love in your 80s different from when you were younger? Well, I think that people take more time to get to know each other. Not too much time. There's a funny scene on The Golden Bachelor where the officiant says, "Where will you be in 10 years?" And the couple looked at each other and burst into laughter because who knows if you have 10 years when you're 72. The fact is that even though you want to get to know the person, you can't let it go for too many years. And that's exactly what the Golden Bachelor said. He said, we're going to get married right away because we don't have that many years like you do in your 20s. It's important in your 80s to be on the same page with your values and your goals. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to make it work. In your 80s, it's way beyond the superficial, but even then, there has to be an appreciation and attraction to the other person's appearance. Because if that's not there, it's just not going to move beyond. We don't see the wrinkles and lines in the same way we did when we were younger. We see the smile. We see the eyes. We see the person's joy in living or not. At this point, we accept people as they are. I think it's pretty obvious that we are not going to change that person in our 80s. It might have been a goal for younger people. Oftentimes it is. And is it successful? Maybe in small ways, but not for the general personality. That's not going to change. So in the 80s, we are so wise about that, and we have to accept the person as he or she is, and we do. I've talked about online dating in quite a few of my videos, and it is certainly worth trying if that's something you're interested in. It worked for me. That's all I can say. But of course, there are scams out there, and we know that. So protecting yourself is of utmost importance. So where does someone in their 80s meet someone? Well, obviously, the church connection worked. Let me tell you a funny story. I knew that my friend had met her husband in the fellowship hall, and I started attending that church, and I thought, I'm going to try the fellowship hall. I mean, if it worked for her, maybe it'll work for me. So one time I went to the hall, I got my coffee and pastry, and I stood there, and I stood there, and I stood there, and I stood there. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is so uncomfortable. I could just die standing here. No one's going to approach me. And I don't think that anyone did. I can't really remember, but certainly I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't wait to get out of there. So I had thought lightning might strike twice, but not generally in the same place. But I gave it a try. So where else could you possibly meet someone? In your 80s, we've talked about online dating, and I've talked about church, activities, meetings, groups, sports, if you're still doing those things. But I'm going to tell you some personal stories about octogenarian love at my retirement community. I live in a continuing care retirement community, which in my mind is the best place to be when you're older and alone. I am married and I am active in several groups. My main groups are Reader's Theater and my ballroom dance group, as well as the Health and Wellness Committee. So all of the people that I've become close to in the 2 years I've been here are from basically those three groups. And it's interesting, especially in the dance group, because even though it's only a small group, I have personally observed 2 love matches take place in that group. And it's so heartwarming because everyone was widowed, one woman for many years, and then all of a sudden she's dancing with someone at our twice a month dance whom I'd never seen her with before, out of the clear blue, because she always came singly. And watching them dance, I knew immediately that this was not a friendship couple. Oh no, it's so obvious when 2 people are attracted to each other, even in their 80s. They were so happy together and looking at each other and smiling that I was just thrilled for them. Another couple, widows, got together through dancing also. We have weekly dance classes, and they were each other's partner. And now they are much more than partners, and we have a true love match couple. I know this may sound cliche, but if you are looking for a love match, it's important to keep yourself vibrant by eating a healthy diet, by keeping your weight under control, by keeping yourself physically fit with some sort of exercise, even if it's just walking and stretching. Because if you keep yourself feeling good, It will radiate from your face and it will attract other people to you, even if you have closed yourself off to other relationships, but are lonely and inside, deep inside, would like a companion. Then be open to anyone who approaches you. Put a big smile on your face and say, yes, I'd love to do that. I wish you the best of luck in your 70s, in your 80s, in finding that love match. Thanks for watching and have a great day.